Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and in this video we will be covering the SMGs, ranking them from worst to best. We'll have to work with 3 guns, the Barrage, the Storm Surge and the M39. Hope you enjoyed the content. Watch until the end for some new info on the channel's progress and plans moving forward. That's not gonna be very in-depth, just a couple of thingies I wanna mention. And yeah, enjoy the show. M39 Submachine Gun. So the M39 lands on number 3, and that is for a very specific reason. You can pretty much shred anything that is exactly in front of you, and I mean in your bloody face, but anything beyond that, it's pretty much off limits. The guy sprays all over the place, it has pathetic accuracy, its effective range is shit, as you can probably see here. It's not like it cannot do damage, but the range at which that damage can be dealt is very restrictive. Modding it like I did, it gives you a pretty decent rate of fire in comparison to its damage. If you bring this side by side with a barrage, for example, the damage output of this thing is immense, but you will not be able to do damage over greater distances, and that limits its potential a lot. It always has to be paired with a gun that can actually hit ranges. It has very good perks: rate of fire, reload, more rate of fire and weak point damage. Pretty decent stuff. The only thing holding it back is the distance at which it can operate. For that very specific restriction, it lands at number 3. LEM MP11 Storm Surge. The Storm Surge is a peculiar beast. Everything about this gun indicates that it should work wonderfully, and it is very serviceable, I have to tell you that. The problem with it is you cannot really make it fire that fast to serve as a consistent SMG, neither can you make it effective over longer distances. If you have to use an SMG for distance, you'd think that the burst fire one would be the best one to use, but really it is outclassed by the Flechette barrage in that regard, and it is very restrictive when it comes to magazine capacity and rate of fire. Why is it better than the M39 then? Well, it can actually operate over distances that make its use the logical choice compared to, let's say, a shotgun, excluding the pump shotgun because that's broken and you can snipe stuff with it. The Storm Surge is a very good gun, very good perks as well: accuracy, stability, more stability, aim assist and stability. Very logical stuff, very, let's say, well paired with the function that we want to utilize this gun in, but it lacks in pretty much everything, just a tad, a tiny bit, keeping it shy of being a stellar weapon. Serviceable, usable, very potent if you use it on a phalanx, for example, because it can cover distances that, well, yeah, the pumper, excluding other shotguns, wouldn't be able to cover. A good gun, you can play around with it, you can take it up to extreme, potentially, if you know what you're doing, but I wouldn't really recommend it for insane, and I think there are better alternatives in the CQW department. It firmly lands on number 2. X43 Barrage Flechette SMG. The Flechette Barrage lands at number 1 for pretty much every conceivable reason. Modding this beast in a potent manner makes it very precise over very respectable distances. Its reload time is ridiculous, and that's very important for a gun that will keep you in the thick of it. Very good perks as well: stability, accuracy, more accuracy, weak point damage and accuracy. Logical, well paired choices here in the SMGs. And although the accuracy and stability seem to be lacking a bit, the gun will perform excellently even at assault rifle range. Firing rate is also very decent and the magazine capacity is very respectable, so you can pretty much forget about having an assault rifle and auto rifle with you and just stick to this if you want to use something like, let's say, a sniper rifle. And a recon or a gunner with a sniper rifle and this can pretty much cover all distances. It will substitute very well for shotguns. I really cannot suggest shotguns for extreme or insane because then you need weapons that are more oriented towards maximum bang for each of your bucks. Okay, but it's very good. Its spraying pattern is very consistent. With short bursts you can cover pretty much all distances up to long to, let's say, long and a tad. Very good weapon, very respectable performance on every regard. You can use it for whatever you want. It will always perform. As I said, and I will repeat it, it's not that the gun is bad, it's the damage profile of all SMGs that keep them from being excellent for insane and to a certain extent on extreme. There you need shotguns for the reasons I explained previously, but this gun, as it stands, stats-wise, profile-wise, it's excellent. It lands firmly at number 1 when it comes to SMGs, and I would suggest it over each and every one of them with the best possible experience at hand. I've had a blast using it, highly recommended. Guys, those were the SMGs. I know the Storm Surge was in there, although it's a burst, but really it's the only one, and it is still an SMG to be utilized in the same manner like all other SMGs. It's not like machine pistols and riot guns, for example, where I keep them in different categories. This concludes the SMGs. We will be taking a look at riot guns and machine pistols in the same vid the next time because there are only 4 of them in total and then we'll start scraping the bottom of the barrel, dealing in heavies. So guys, I know the game's been drying up because of all the problems. I hope they patch soon and we see something substantial. Tomorrow is stream day, we're gonna have a good time. Consider checking out my Instagram, Facebook and Patreon because they really help a lot, especially when the game's losing players due to its defects. On Instagram you can find some nice gaming stills and photos and stuff like that. I'm expanding the portfolio there. It's pretty interesting. Streaming on Mondays and Thursdays for the time being. Aliens Fireteam Elite mainly. I got my hands on a Series X, so stuff that I wouldn't be able to play with you normally now I will be able to play. So drop me suggestions on Discord. You can find our Discord in the description below. Sub, like and share for more. Until next time, be well, stay frosty and always strive for perfection. Cheers!